recording. And here we go with fun stuff today. Okay, so today's Rompehielo is share some celebrations either in your life or programs or work, right? So, si pueden compartir algunas celebraciones que ustedes tienen de su programa o su trabajo. And you should have some celebrations, right? Because we work with children. So working with children, you should have a lot of celebrations. And you can either put that in the chat or you could unmute.
Hi, everyone.
Hi, Arlene. You have some celebrations for us? What are you celebrating? Because I see you're really busy.
Oh, no, busy and tired. So I have a author event at the Free Library of Philadelphia, the Nicetown Tioga branch on March 18th coming up. So I'm pretty excited about that.
Awesome. Is that open to the public?
Yes, it is. Yep, yes, it is. If you want, I can put a flyer up on the website.
Okay.
The Latino website.
Yeah, and I love to share that. For those of you that don't know, Arlene is an author. We've met. We had the pleasure of meeting at LEJ's. We had a Latino Hispanic Literacy Festival back in Hispanic History Month. And she was one of our authors, feature authors there. She writes some beautiful books and they are in English and Spanish. I think there's a third language too, right?
There's a Chinese, English Chinese also.
Yes, yes. So that she's really amazing. She's one of our, full supporters. She loves early childhood education and always ready to connect. So if you ever want to see Arlene coming in to your program, all you have to do is call her, Arlene. Call her and she'll come and read to your students because she did for mine.
Definitely. I'll put that in the chat.
Yeah, that would be great. Yeah. So in the chat, you can actually get Arlene's email address and contact her so she can come over and read to your kiddos. And that would be great to do in the week of the young child too, guys. So
thank you. Thank you, Damaris.
You're welcome. You're welcome. Anyone else? Any other? I think we have time for one more celebration. Let's celebrate. Alguien tiene que tener una celebración, something good in February. That one celebration? Oh my gosh, what's going on in your programs? Anybody staffed? Anybody has staff? Anybody has full enrollment? Anybody met Keystone Stars? Nosotros celebramos el Día del Amor y la Amistad. Yes. El Día del Amor y la Amistad. Yes, that's great. That's amazing. Gracias, Iluminada. Okay. So vamos a seguir para adelante. Si tienen más celebraciones, lo pueden poner en el chat, que estamos aquí para celebrarlo ustedes hoy. Okay. Hoy Neta, no pudo venir hoy porque estaba bien ocupada y tenía una reunión. So, yeah, she's not here. So I'm going to talk a little bit about the OCDEL conference. It is on March 25th and 26th. I'm not sure if everybody here in this call has registered for the conference, but OCDEL wanted to know if you did register already and received the confirmation. If you need translation services, they would like to know that. So I want to stop here for a minute. Did anybody actually here on this call today register for the conference? Pueden alzar la mano, pueden ponerle chat. I just want to get an idea. Oh gosh.
You know what, Damaris, I wanted to know who do I reach out to become a vendor at the event?
So I can get you that phone number. I could get you that email I meant.
Okay.
I'm going to write that down right now. I know that they closed out the conference for registration already. However, I'm trying to fight for people that are interested in joining. Um, yeah, so we'll figure that out. Pero si ustedes se registraron para la conferencia, déjalo dicho porque ellos quieren saber cuántas gentes latinas van a ir y cuánto traducir, si ellos necesitan traducción para la conferencia. Si no se registraron para la conferencia, entonces nosotros también estamos tratando de a ver si pueden abrir la registración y tan siquiera ponerlo en una lista de espera o algo. ¿Ok? So, eso vamos a pelear, no sé si se puede, pero vamos a tratar. ¿Ok? All right. Para ustedes que entraron ahora mismo, si quieren oír las cosas que se están hablando en inglés, en español, pueden darle al globo abajo de la pantalla y pueden oír todo en español directamente para que no estén para atrás para adelante. ¿Ok? Ok. And aquí estamos, Latinos Educando Juntos va a estar ahí, tiene una mesa, right? So we have a table at the conference. So I'm hoping that you guys can come and visit. So if you have registered, please come down to the conference table and look for LEJ. We're going to be there. We have some goodies and some surprises for you and tons of information. So you're more than welcome to come hang out with us. Okay. Rebecca and Amy Lamar. I know I saw Amy. I'm not sure if Rebecca's on the call, but I would like to introduce you guys to Rebecca Lamar. She's the manager of higher education initiatives in the Pennsylvania Key, and Amy Barrett, which is the workforce initiatives coordinator at the Pennsylvania Key. So if you guys want to go ahead.
Sure. Hi, everybody. I don't think Rebecca has joined us yet, but I'm sure she is on our way. As Damaris said, Rebecca is the manager of higher ed initiatives, and I work, my title is Workforce Initiatives Coordinator, which is a super general title, which means I get to work with a lot of the Rising Stars tuition assistants, the CDA students in completion efforts and things like that. So we decided to do a little bit of both, so our slides will be in Spanish. I am speaking English, but I love the translation, so I'm excited about that. I'm just basically starting off with our contact screen, so if anybody wants to ever screenshot that, so you have access to our email addresses and can kind of point you in the right direction for where you are looking to receive support. However, I will tell you that all of the individuals and email addresses listed on this screen, we all work very closely together. So if you end up at the wrong front doorstep, we're going to take you to where you belong, which is great too. So we can go to the next slide. We are just continuing to work through making sure that we are communicating our career pathway, what the goal is, what the end goal, how to do it, and all those sort of supports. So the career pathway was developed as to kind of professionalize the workforce and create an entry point and a system of goals to move forward. So it is the process used to verify all of the education associated with your PD registry account or each holder. And we look at your high school diploma or transcripts. We look at your college degrees and credits, your credentials, your certificates, and your endorsements. The only thing that is not counted in your career pathway level would be first aid or mandated reporter training. And the photo that you're looking at now is a very detailed level of where you can kind of get an idea when you're doing hiring or you're interested in where you might personally land. You can kind of ballpark what that's going to look like. You know, saying you have a bachelor's degree in a related field and 30 credits, you're going to be at a C. So you can kind of get an idea of where you will be. The next slide is a little bit more detailed information about the actual process. So we have an amazing team of verifiers who go through each individual application and they review document by document for every single individual. and it's looking at the education received in the field of early childhood, and credits are counted from transcripts as a full or a partial credit. So say you have somebody who took classes in any type of education, but it's not specified as early childhood. It may have been the middle grades. You're still going to receive some partial credit for that. And the nice part about it is that if you feel that you are placed at a level that was an error, we do have a review form that you can fill out. It is available on the website that just says, maybe you got a credential in between now and your last renewal, or you really feel that this class might have been miscounted. You can provide some additional information and they can review that, which is nice. One of the things to be mindful of when you're applying for a career pathway is to get all your documentation in order. So this right-hand column is the documents that are required to apply and be processed. So you want to start with your high school diploma or transcript, your CDA certificate if you have one, any college transcripts and degrees, even if it was not a terminal degree, if it was just, some random courses you took here and there. We want to see all of it because we want to be able to count every possible thing that an applicant did, and we don't want to unintentionally miss out on anything. We also want to see your teacher certification document and any additional credential certificates. That would include the director credential, the school age professional credential, and things like that. The next slide is a really important one for us. This is the foreign degree evaluation process. So when we have individuals who have completed any type of education outside of the United States, we really want to honor that as well. So Octal has come up with a system that requires an evaluation process, which there's a cost associated with it. So we have developed a stipend to assist with that cost. It will pay up to $150 for foreign transcript evaluation to be processed. There are some requirements with that, meaning that the evaluation services need to be completed by an organization that's accredited by NACES or ACE. We can find the lists of organizations that are members of NACES or ACE on our website, along with step-by-step instructions that can be found there on how to actually process it. And the great news is that as of within the last month or so, our PA Key website, which is www.pakeys.org, is now able to be translated into over 80 different languages for ease of use and accessibility, which we all know is a huge help, and it's a priority for us. Should an individual need assistance in completing the required paperwork, because it can get a little overwhelming, we also have included an authorization form for the appropriate individuals. In that scenario, we're looking at directors, assistant directors, or even a quality coach that can help you fill out the paperwork to make sure that you or your staff are reimbursed properly. We also have a training course available in the registry that provides kind of a general overview. Sometimes the order of operations gets a little foggy, so we developed that to kind of clarify that. And I would be the contact person for that. And so I can, when I'm finished, I will happily put my email address in the chat. And if you have any questions for yourself or your staff about the evaluation process and the stipend and the reimbursement process, I'm always happy to help. The next slide is just an overview of our Rising Stars tuition assistance. It's been around for quite some time, but it sort of morphs and changes according to the needs of the field and Octal's goals. So currently it will cover 95% of tuition and fees that are incurred by individuals who are pursuing either a director credential or a school age professional credential, at an approved in-state college or university. We are not currently covering CDA coursework or degree coursework, but we do have connections to the PEOs as well as teach who assists with those two areas. So we've kind of divided it into lanes, and everybody kind of has an area that they support. The recommended timeline for those interested in applying for coverage for director credential or school age credential would be about 4 weeks before the start of the course or prior to the tuition date. That's preferred. I'm going to tell you that we get applications all the time, and our goal is to support you. So as long as it is within the fiscal program year for us, we're typically able to make something work. And we can always talk through that on a one-on-one basis as well. I will also share that the eligibility requirements are listed on the website, along with a list of the required documentation. And again, that is translatable into any of the 80 available languages at this point. The last slide, and probably our most frequently used program from where I sit, is the CDA voucher program. You know, we all know that the CDA is that entry-level credential into the field. It's the first step towards building your educational journey. And we also know that the fee for a CDA credential is $425, which is prohibitive to literally everyone. No matter what. So it covers the entire $425 application fee, and pays for your actual credential, the assessment, and the visit. And we also offer a $125 renewal voucher that is also available to anybody that needs to renew every 3 years. It is our process to issue 1 voucher per person per career. The only exception to that would be if somebody has an infant toddler CDA and a preschool CDA. We support that. We're down. But we definitely want to keep that. So with the expectation that somebody is going to obtain the credential and then renew it as needed. If somebody's going to stack it into an associate degree or another terminal degree, you don't need to renew it, and you can move on from that at a time. The eligibility requirements are also listed on the website with step-by-step instructions, and the instructions are pretty detailed, even with screenshots. And I believe, I'm not sure if Becca has joined us, but I believe we have a Spanish copy available as well. And this one is a much simpler application. We really only need 4 pieces of documentation, but it is probably the biggest holdup that we see with applicants, is that they're missing one piece or another, but it is only 4 things. It is a screenshot of your council login with your name and saying that you are in checkout status. And that came from, we had applicants applying too early, and then they would just sort of disappear and never finish the process. So we do want to make sure that you are ready for that final step, as well as a copy of your DHS certificate, an initialed and signed ECEPD commitment form, which can be found several different places. It can be found in the application itself as well as on the website. And if you ever get stuck, I'm happy to email it as well. As well as an employer attestation, which is just an acknowledgement that as the director, they're acknowledging that you are in the CDA process. And that can also be found within the application itself and on the website. So that is pretty much my slides. It's a general overview. It's my spiel. Damaris has probably heard it about 15 times. So
Thank you so much, Amy. Thank you. I don't think Rebecca is on the call, but I wanted to ask, there was some questions, and I know there's probably some folks on the call that might have questions. I see one in the chat. I just renewed my CDA. Am I going to be able to get refunded by STARS?
Unfortunately not. Our system is not set up to do reimbursements. It's a code system where we share a code and then you enter it in the payment portion, and then the council invoices us. We do not have a system available for reimbursement, unfortunately.
Thank you. Sorry, Jessica. Any more questions?
I will put my email in the chat just in case. So if anybody comes up with anything later, I'm always happy to support.
Perfect.
I have a question, Amy.
Sure.
Hi, this is Arlene Ray, the
Hi, Arlene.
children's book author. So I have my CDA years ago, because I've been a preschool teacher for almost 20 years.
Mhm.
So, if someone like me want to go back into the classroom and get their CDA and have
Mhm.
done it for such a long time, what steps would I go about? Would I have to take it all over again? Because I think I had renewed mine like 3 times over the two
Right.
dates that I, you know what I mean? So,
Your training hours, those 120 hours that you do to get your initial CDA, those are good forever. So really, it would just be navigating the actual CDA application process and preparing your portfolio and exam and the assessment visit. However, if it's been some time, I mean, we all spend those days in the classroom. So like your experience is real, but if you wanted to go and just kind of refresh up on terminology, you may want to reach out and redo the coursework, but you most certainly do not have to.
yeah, okay. So, I would I guess what I would have to take, like with the observation part of it, I would have to be in
Yes.
a classroom to do the observation part of it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Thank you.
You're very welcome.
Here's another question in the chat from Jessica. I graduated last year for early childhood with an early childhood certificate. I just got my career pathway. It says that I stayed the same level, level A. Is that correct? Or should I get a higher level?
I cannot answer whether it's correct without looking, but I would recommend going onto the career pathway page of the PAQ website, and you could submit a career pathway review form. And they can take a second look and just review, and that's your opportunity to ask any questions of the verifier team that actually does those.
Thank you.
Absolutely.
And I just want to take a moment to recognize Rebecca Lamar. She's actually on the call. Hello, Rebecca. Welcome.
Hola, hola a todos. Hi, everyone.
Hola, hola. So we're in the Q&A component. There are some questions. So one of them was that it was a little confusing to where to find the application to request a stipend. Hold on a second. I'm sorry. I'm just gonna put some folks on mute. Where to find the stipend for the $150 for the translation?
Mhm. Okay, yeah, I can actually put that link directly in the chat. It should be under foreign degree, but I will pop that in the chat so we have easy access to it.
Thank you.
Yeah.
And then there is a secondary question. How do they find? So there are some programs still waiting for the DHS renewals. So they've gotten inspected, but DHS and OCDEL hasn't sent out their new DHS and PI certificates. Do those programs need to wait for the updated one or?
Yeah, unfortunately, we do need to see that. And I know, as we come out of the COVID disaster and all of that, everybody got behind on that type of stuff, but we are not seeing as many delays as possible, or as not as possible as we were before. And if you really are feeling like you should have seen it and you haven't, please reach out to me because we have a connection through DHS at the PA who can in certain one-off situations can reach out and confirm and give me the green light to push that through. We've done it once or twice where it has been a really egregious, like we were licensed 6 months ago and we still haven't heard our certificate, which is like, I'm talking 1 in a million, but every now and then we have a situation where we can work with it. So.
Thank you. And the final question that I received was, let me see. Oh, there are some folks that are having trouble applying for the CDA voucher.
Oh, yes.
And they believe it's because they haven't gotten the career pathway approval yet, right? So whether they're level A, they submitted and they're still waiting in process. So is the step for them to do the career pathway first and then they can apply for a voucher?
It is, however, they do not have to be placed. All you have to do is apply, which can be done in a matter of uploading all your documentation. Where I see the biggest hiccup in that, where they're like, well, I did apply, but the application was sent back as incomplete and then it was canceled. And they did not respond to the requests for additional documentation. So the application ends up being canceled, so they have to do it again, and they're not aware of that. So, you do not have to be placed. You don't have to wait in a queue. As soon as you apply for the career pathway, the financial assistance tab becomes available to you instantly.
Perfect.
So that should not be much of a delay.
Perfect. So I believe that was it for the questions I received, unless somebody, I think we have time for one more question. If anybody has questions in the chat or on the call.
Yeah, thanks for grabbing them.
Any questions? Great timing now. We got them right here. Rebecca, did you want to say something while we wait for?
I just wanted to, excuse me, just again congratulate LEJ for all the amazing work that they've been doing over the last few years now. Damaris, felicidades a todos. And we are always a su orden. We're here to really help and assist. And most importantly, thank you, Damaris, for lifting some of the points of development or challenge, and also the points of success, so that we know how we can report these things up to OCDEL, as well as our neighboring agencies. We are thrilled to be a part of this great work, and keep bringing great questions, keep bringing these challenges, because our team really looks forward to working through them with you.
Thank you, Rebecca. Thank you so much. You know, we love you. Rebecca's been our supporter since
It's hard not to love.
We love you too, Amy.
I know.
All right. Ahí si hay algunas preguntas, por favor, le puede poner en el chat. Amy y Rebecca le va a poner también su correo electrónico dentro del chat, por si acaso si ustedes se quieren comunicar con ellos, por cualquier cosa, ellos están a sus órdenes. So, Rebecca, if you can put your email in the chat, that would be great, if you want to. And I really appreciate you guys coming down and sharing this great information. It's very resourceful. I know that there's a lot of confusion, but we're going to make it work. And if anybody here needs to reach out, I brought you the team. These are the people. So you could definitely reach out to them. I know that they're there for you. So thank you.
Ahí está que lo bauticen.
All right, let me, I'm going to try to do the mute thing while I'm working on the slides as well. So give me 1 second. All right, there we go. I know Diane Getzinger from ELRC 18 is not here today. She wasn't able to join us. It's a lot of, it's Friday, guys, and then towards the end of the month, a lot of things that are happening. But you can definitely capture her updates. I didn't dare put any updates here without Diane being present, but definitely some of her updates you can find at the CPAC meeting or at the provider learning circles, which happen every Thursdays with Gladys Leon. So you can receive those updates there. All right, I am so excited to introduce Erika Sinceros, the Star Quality Coach from ELRC 14. Erika.
Hello, how are you? I'm Erika Cisneros. I am a STARS Quality Coach in ELRC 14. So I work with Northampton and Lehigh counties. So some updates specific to Region 14, the attestations or the signed forms for the CQI grant that was recently out were due February 15th. The payments will be going out the first week of the first full week of March, which I believe is March 5th. So the payments will be coming out soon, and then we will start working on the reporting of how those were spent. And so monthly, I offer community days where I go to the local Wegmans, which is on Tillman Street. I know I've seen many of you from this region there. So here I have my next few community days at Wegmans, and Any additional times can always be arranged. I'm more than happy to meet. I know I've had other programs that request to meet at Wegmans because it's easier, since most of the programs I work with are family providers. Sometimes it's just easier being out of the house to meet, but I'm always able to also come to your location. And I have a Star 2 work group coming up where we will be working together. Currently, the group has mostly people that are Star 2 that need a full designation coming up within the next year, but anyone who's a Star 1 who would be interested in moving to a Star 2 is able to reach out to me, and they can attend as well. And I always welcome people who want to work in groups. I know as a family provider, a lot of my programs kind of feel isolated. So being able to work together with friends on increasing quality is always, I always encourage that. The ELRC 14 has a provider link that goes out monthly with monthly updates and information that is relevant. It usually includes like certification news or updates with the Child Care Works. And if you don't get that, the email link for to sign up for it was on that slide. And then some information for the PDO, the Professional Development Organization, specifically for our region, 14. The purpose is to remove cost barriers and help fund like a CDA or an associate degree or a bachelor's degree. I know they work with a bunch of local colleges to be able to support furthering education. And obviously they want to see an increase in quality with early childhood programs. This is the eligibility criteria. There's also a link to the PDO that I can put in the chat in a minute. I'm not going to go over all the details with this, but it's definitely something to review. And our specific person that covers Region 14 is fantastic about helping providers out. And I believe her information is on the next slide. Her name is Annabella. She goes by Bella. She's amazing if you have any questions about wanting to enroll in a program or if you qualify for funding. She's a great contact to have, and you can shoot her an email and she's always very responsive. And I think that was all I had.
Awesome. Does anybody have any questions for Erica? I have a few, but I just wanted to make sure that I allow space. ¿Hay unas preguntas para Erica? Okay. I want to, and I'll just wait for folks to be able to answer, to ask any questions if they may have. But there was a question about, are there any Hispanic or colleges that provide Spanish courses, ECE courses?
So as far as I know, a local community college does sometimes kind of according to the demand. So if they have enough people contacting them with interest, or Annabella's been great about working, like collecting groups, like kind of cohorts of Spanish speaking students who are interested in taking additional classes. It's my understanding that unfortunately, there are 2 colleges up here that have offered classes in Spanish, and I think they're mostly CDA classes. I think they do have some other early childhood classes, but when you're going towards like the associate level, the availability of courses in Spanish that are outside of early childhood are, I think, pretty non-existent up here, which is really unfortunate.
Yeah. So there's a question in the chat. It's just for teachers and directors. Do CCP provide classes? Arlene, you want to unmute just I'm not understanding the question, so I just want to make sure I don't mess up your question.
Okay. Hi, Erica.
Hi.
Hi. So yeah, so the question is the classes that was just on the slide, is that just for teachers and directors to take those to get the classes that can take the classes?
Through the PDO?
Yes.
I believe the requirements are you have to be working in childcare. So it's typically family providers would qualify, groups would qualify, and if you're a teacher in any, or even I believe aides or kind of any level of working with the children in a childcare facility.
So it would have to be in a facility. What about home daycares?
So they qualify because they're working with the kids. So I've had a lot of home daycares, which we call family providers, that have gone through a CDA program, and some that have gone through and getting an associate.
Oh, okay. And do community college still provide, can you go through community college? Do they still provide those classes?
They do. So the community colleges up here do provide those classes. In order to get them paid for, the professional development organization is the main one that offers the funding in our area. So I typically recommend going through them in our area, and she'll connect with one of the local, either community colleges, or with Keystone is the other big one up here, that we work with a lot. And they are typically the one that has more frequent availability with Spanish speaking courses.
Okay, great. Thank you so much for clearing that up.
Sure.
Thank you. Thank you. Before I move forward, with the next question, I think this was the final question I had. I just want to take a moment for those who just joined us to let them know how they can access the Spanish translation. So let's pause for a minute. Saludo y buenas tardes a todos. Si entraron ahora mismo o unos par de segundos atrás para la reunión, ustedes pueden darle el globo abajo de la pantalla y a darle clic ahí y pueden oír todo lo que están diciendo en inglés en español. Okay, gracias. All right. And welcome everyone, whoever's in the call, just joined us. You are able to hear. Click on the bottom of your screen. There's like a little globe on the bottom of your screen if you want to hear this presentation in Spanish or in English. So just in case we're speaking Spanish, you can hear it in English and understand what's being said. Thank you. Okay, so Erica, I have one more question, and I think you already answered this with a community college component, but I wanted to just go directly to the director's credentials. So with the director's credentials, I know it's really hard. I mean, I'm going to ask anyway, because a lot of providers have been asking, but is there a possibility or even talks about doing the director's credentials in Spanish?
Not that I've heard. I definitely think that's something I can reach out and talk to some of the local colleges about. I think it's so hard up here because we just don't have the teachers to facilitate the amount of courses we need to be in Spanish. But I know there's definitely would be interest. And unfortunately, I think in this region, we're just kind of in a weird spot where the demand is really high for resources and courses and everything in Spanish, and it's just hard to find the availability.
Yes. Thank you so much for answering those questions. We have probably room for one more question if anyone has a question. And if not, you could put it in the chat. Just give it 1 minute in case somebody's typing. But Eric, I do want to thank you so much for joining us today. I really appreciate you bringing all the resources. I want to go to Wegmans and meet you because I love that place. And I love that you're doing community outreach and meeting with your providers out there and meeting them where it's more convenient to them. So I really appreciate you for doing that. All right. So I don't think that there are any questions in the chat. If the providers wanted to reach out to you, I will share, unless you want to put the your information in the chat, your email. But I will also share these slides with you so you can have Erica's contact information.
Perfect. Thank you.
Thank you, Erica. All right. So I would love to introduce Elizabeth Sierra, our financial, well, not our, Esperanza College's financial aid representative. Elizabeth.
Good afternoon. How are you?
Good. Welcome, Elizabeth.
Thank you for having me.
Welcome.
Okay, so my name is Elizabeth Sierra. I work for Esperanza College of Eastern University in the financial aid office / student accounts. At the college, I help the students get their financial aid, completing their FAFSA application, state grant, any loans if they have the need for it, how to apply for scholarships, and informing them about indeed endowed scholarship and institutional scholarships and any grants that they may need. They offer work study, which is part-time work for students to do at the school if they're a full-time student. For us, it's one of our requirements that they'll be full-time, but in some other schools, the student can be part-time and still do further work study. Financial aid is a combination of federal grants, institutional aid, private and federal loans, and any other grants or scholarships. Normally, what you want to remember is grants and scholarship is free money. Everything else is you have to pay back, okay? The next screen, please. Sorry. All right, so federal grants, institutional aid, scholarships, federal loans, and Pennsylvania state grant. Next one. The FAFSA application is always available October of the previous year before it opens. So for the 25-26, it will be available this year, October 1st, 2024. They work on a fiscal calendar year, so it starts July the 1st to June the 30th. They have certain requirements that the student be a US citizen, eligible citizen, eligible non-citizen, and complete, in our case, in the state of Pennsylvania, the application before May 1st. The FAFSA application triggers the state grant, and our deadline for the state grant is May 1st. Once the May 1st deadline passes, it's usually hard for the students to receive the state grant. At the moment, the state grant is like $5,750. The Pell Grant is $73.95.
Elizabeth, I'm sorry. I'm
sorry.
to interrupt you. No, that's okay. I just can you slow down a little bit because we have a translator and
Oh, I'm so sorry.
yeah, we always do that. So if you could just slow down just a little bit, just so that
Sure.
everybody can catch up. I'm sorry about that. Just
All
don't
right, no
make sure
problem.
nobody's missing the information.
All right. The next screen. All right, so the FAFSA application determines how much money you are eligible for. It takes into consideration whether you're independent or dependent and your household size and the income that you did 2 years ago. They look at that. They don't look at last year. They look at the previous year. Right now, the 23-24 FAFSA application is open. So they're looking at tax information from 2021, from 2 years ago. Even though we're in 2024, they're using 2021. Oops, next one. All right. Everyone needs a FSA ID, which is the way that you sign your application. It is available at studentaid.gov. What the Department of Education has done is made this website a one-shop stop. You do everything here. You create your FSA ID, you complete your FAFSA application, you review your balances if you have federal loans, if you use Pell, if you need to go into loan consolidation, if you want to sign up for the Public Service Loan Forgiveness Program, if you want to do a loan consolidation or even make your payments. Right here, everything is here. Before it used to be fsaid.gov.ed.gov, you do your FSA ID, then you needed to jump onto another website to do the FAFSA application. You needed to jump on another website to complete the master promissory note or the entrance counseling. So because the students were jumping from website to website, they consolidated all to studentaid.gov. That way, everything is done there, is easy access to log in. When you create your FSA ID, they ask you to verify your email, your phone number, and create your username. They use these three components in order for you to be able to log in. In case you forget one, you have availability to two other access. So if you forgot your username, but you verify your phone number, you could enter your phone number to log in. If you change your phone number, you could enter your email address and you'll be able to log in. If you don't remember your password to your email, or you haven't been using it or became deactivated, you could use your username or your phone number. Next screen. Okay, I think I went ahead. The FSA ID. So if you are doing financial aid for a minor child, not a minor child, I'm sorry, for a dependent child of yours, and dependent for the Department of Education is considered 24 years and under, you're technically financial responsible unless they have a kid, been in foster care, someone else had legal guardianship. That changes their dependency status. But if that's your child, they live in your home, they're 24 years old or younger, you need to give your financial information for them. Even if they're not living at home, they could be living in a different state. You could be living in Pennsylvania and them in Virginia, New York, even California. They're under the age of 24. They're going to need your financial information for this. You cannot use the same email address, the same phone number when you're creating your FSA ID. Next screen. This is what the website looks like, and normally how you would be looking, completing the application and what the website has available. So undergrad, graduate, parent borrowers, and repayment, and how to log in. Next one. All right. So federal grants and institutional aids. Under the federal grants, you have federal Pell, Supplemental Education Opportunity Grant, which is called SEOG, Teach Grant, which is the Teacher Education Assistance for college and higher education, and military grants. Military grants are for veterans that have currently serving or have retired from the military. They're eligible to either transfer some of their education benefits onto their dependent children, or they've retired from the military and the child under the age of 24 will be eligible for dependent benefits. So it's like Chapter 33, 35, and Yellow Ribbon. If you're currently in the armed forces and you already have completed 4 years of military service, normally you will qualify for Chapter 33 Yellow Ribbon. I will call it the sweetest benefit there is. It covers 100% of your schooling, including a laptop if you need it, any laboratory fees that you have, any admissions fee that you may have to go to school. I find the military take care of their veterans when they're trying to learn more, extend their education life. They really do take care of them. Everybody is eligible, a veteran, as long as they do not have a dishonorable discharge. It could be any discharge, medical, retirement, they finished their time, that kind of stuff. As long as this doesn't say dishonorable, they're eligible for benefits. Next screen. All right, institutional aid, it's money from the school. There's two types that is normally available at the schools. Institutional is where the school itself will give money to the student to help them come to school. Endowed scholarship is where a student previously attended the college or the university, they like the way it is, they have extra money, and they decided to give money to the school for a student. So for example, we have a student that is getting a scholarship from us. The requirement is that they have a 3.5 GPA and they attend full-time. So they gave them a $3,500 scholarship. It's just depending on the requirements of those scholarships. Award is usually awarded based on GPA and or SAT or ACT scores. Some of the grants can pay for housing. Also depends on the housing, whether they commuter or residential. Depends on income and also depends on enrollment status. So I'll give you an example of Esperanza's grant institutional aid. Between 3 to 5 credits will give $850 in Esperanza grant. Between 6 to 8 will give $1,680. Between 9 and 11 credits will give $2,500. But if a student is attending full-time, we'll give $9,190. So we'll give the student literally 50% off on tuition for going full-time.
For the
So
year or the
for
full
the
time?
semester.
What?
For the yes, you're coming full-time. Tuition is $18,380. 380, yeah, 18,380. We will give you $91.90 off the back for coming full-time to school.
That is absolutely amazing. And what is the part-time again?
Part-time 3 to 5 is $850. 6 to 8 is $1,680. 9 to 11 is $2,510.
Wow.
And
Wow.
then 12 credits or better, up to 18 credits is $9,190. This does go up every year as our tuition goes up. So at the moment, I think we're going to be offering 9,500 or 96 next year because our tuition is planning to go up.
Oh my gosh, that's amazing.
Yes.
And
And then
that's-
we'll be
that's
able to help you
including-
out with the Pell and the state grant and any loans if you have the need for it.
So I know you have more slides. I have so many questions,
No,
but
no,
okay.
no, it's okay.
No. I'm gonna let you go because I have so many questions like teach. And so if you receive teach, because I know you're a college that accepts teach,
Yes.
then everything goes into that, and then you return a check to the student. So that means the
Correct.
student, oh my gosh, that's amazing, guys. Everybody go to school tomorrow. All right.
Next screen. All right, so scholarships can come from various places, foundations, religious or community organization, local businesses, civic groups, ethnicity-based organization like the Hispanic American Fund, the NAACP, your employer or your parent's employer, if you're a dependent person. Your employer may offer, depending, $5,000 for the year, meaning $2,500 per semester, or if you have a B average, they'll cover 75%. If you have a B plus average, 80, A minus, 89, depending on the organization. Like for Esperanza, me as an employee, they only cover $4,000 for the year, but it's $2,000 per semester. It's $2,000 that doesn't have to come out of my pocket to pay when you really look at it. So anytime they're asking, they have employer education benefits, I'm always there. What you need? A letter, here it goes. A bill, here it goes. I want to make sure that you get this money. I always try to get students to leave schools with the least amount of loans. I want them to go to school on grants. I have a student that has 5 scholarships They got Esperanza Grant, Pell Grant, State Grant. They have PACA Teach Grant, and they also have Seeds. They cover them as well. So they completed their whole education, no loan amounts carried out with an associate's degree. They graduated from us, which is great. Okay, and then we have different types of loans, which is direct subsidized. It's available to the student that has the financial need. Direct unsub loan, which is also awarded to undergraduates, graduates, professional students, and they do not need to have a financial need. And then there's the Parent Plus loan, which is available for the parents to take. That's available for them to take for their child to go to school as well. Next. All right, federal loans payment begins 6 months after you finish school or go under half-time status or withdraw. If you're going to school and you're taking 5 credits, you're not going to be eligible for loans. You'll be put over automatically into repayment. They don't usually wait the 6 months period. So if you graduated June 30th from school, you're not going back to school. January of the following year is when you're going to start making repayment plan. The undergrad loan limit for a dependent person is 31,000. For independent is 57,500, of which 23 cannot be can be only on sub loans. Next screen. FIA State Grant is available to students. One of the requirements is if you're under the age of 18, your parents need to have lived in the state 12 months before you apply. And if you're over the age of 18, it's the same rule. You need to have lived in the state 12 months prior to applying for the state grant. Next. All right, you gotta meet the financial need, be enrolled at least half-time in an associate's or bachelor's degree, be a high school graduate or earn a GED in the United States, and must attend an in-state school, meaning in the state of Pennsylvania. There is reciprocal states, but they'll only carry over like $850. Where right now the state grant is $57.50, they'll only let you take $850 to another state, and that's West Virginia, Vermont, Washington, D.C., and Ohio. There's another state, but I don't know which one it is. I can't remember it right now. And then you could complete it through the FAFSA application, which triggers it when you submit it, or you could go directly to the website to FIA.org. Next. Oh, I think that's it for me. Now comes my questions.
Well, let me just tell you that I'm receiving texts like I'm transferring to a Esperanza.
Okay.
So I love it.
I'm ready. I'm ready.
I think this was really amazing. It was amazing information. Does anybody have any questions? Because I'm just so overwhelmed right now. I'm just so excited. You sold me on the scholarships.
Oh yeah, that's our perk. That's how we grab them.
Yeah, definitely. So if you guys have any questions, you could actually put them in the chat or you can unmute. I do have a DACA question. So if a person does not have is not a citizen, would they be eligible to apply?
If a student is not a citizen, undocumented, no F1, J, K1, no kind of documentation, they can apply. We have a few limited international scholarships where the student would only pay $5,000 for the year. They need to apply for it. It's $2,500 per semester. And if tuition is $18,000 and they only have to pay $2,500, it's a steal.
Yes.
So
Awesome.
normally they would just go in and apply. Once they speak with their admissions counselor and the counselor realizes that they are undocumented, they'll give them the application to complete. And then it's taken over to the committee and they'll make the decision. to see if they're eligible for the international scholarship. If they are, they only have to agree to pay the $2,500 per semester. It could be paid in one shot or monthly basis, 4 to 5 months.
Thank you. Thank you. There's another question in the chat right now. Is all this information on the school website?
Yes, it is.
Perfect. Perfect.
It's an I'm sorry, esperanza.eastern.edu. It'll take you directly to the Esperanza College website.
And are you limited as far as how many you can apply for?
In what aspect?
I'm not sure. Miss Angela, would you like to unmute?
Can you hear me?
Yes,
Yes,
we
I
can.
can.
So I'm talking about like those scholarships.
You can apply for the scholarships. There are some scholarships that Eastern handles that are stackable, and then there's some that are unstackable. You need to go over to the financial aid of Eastern University to see which ones are stackable or unstackable. Like Pell Grant, Esperanza Grant, State Grant, Seeds, Teach Grant, any of those, you could stack them up.
Those are good ones.
Fantastic. Thank you.
You're welcome.
And there's another question. Does having a high school diploma from Puerto Rico qualify for a PHEE grant?
Yes, Puerto Rico is recognized as part of the United States. So for those students that have foreign high school diploma, you need to go to NASAS.org, get your high school diploma translated, and then submit it to FIA so they could take the evaluation. And if they render it to be equivalent to a high school diploma, you are eligible for state grant.
Thank you. Are you able to put the good information? NASA is NASSA? Is that what it is?
NACES.org.
I'm sorry, NA.
Yes, NACES.org.
Perfect. I'll put that inside the chat right now.
And then also FIA.org, PHEAA.org also has that information.
PHE, I'm sorry, I didn't hear it.
P as in Peter, H as in Harry, E as in Edward, A as in Apple, A as in Apple.org.
Oh, thank you. Perfect. Okay, so I put both of those in the chat. I have one final question. What happens if folks do not have their tax returns to apply for student loans and these
Okay,
scholarships?
so when you fill out the application, it lets you link up to the IRS. If you have no income, then you will put no income. And then they're going to ask you where you're living of Social Security, SSI, food stamps, cash assistance, family members giving you money, and you'll be able to enter it. If for some reason that section is closed off, actual representative at the school that you apply at will come and send you an email stating you put down $0 of income for your family of, for example, 4. How were you supporting yourself? And they'll give you a form to fill out, and then you just submit it in. Some people work off the books. They don't generate W-2s or pay stubs. Some employers do not want to give letters in these situations. So we usually take the students' words, and by having them fill out that form stating, I make $250 a week, I get paid under the table, $150 a week, whatever it is.
Perfect. I think that's it for the questions. Thank you so much. I guess I will definitely be sharing these slides with everyone here. And you
Yes.
can have the contact information and how to apply. You can visit their website as well, or just go to the college. They're very friendly, very welcoming. So thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you. Is this just for the Spanish community? No.
No, for everybody.
That was a good question though.
Everyone is welcome.
Yes, everyone is welcome.
Yeah,
Yes.
we all speak Spanish, and if you're speaking with someone who doesn't know Spanish, believe me, we all are there to help you out. They'll be like, I need someone to speak Spanish. All of a sudden, you have 2 or 3 people there willing to help you.
Well, This was pretty good. This is pretty good. I love the lineup today. Or every day anyway. Let me not
Yes,
just say that. Elizabeth, thank you again so much for coming and sharing this amazing information with everyone. We
no
really
problem.
appreciate you being here. Thank you.
Okay, bye-bye. Have a good weekend, everyone.
Have a great weekend. Thank you.
All right, bye.
All right. Next person is my personal favorite person right now, Mariah McMullen. I'm sorry, Mariah, from Lakeshore. Mariah.
Hello, everyone. Happy Friday. TGIF. I know it has been like the longest, shortest week on my end. So I hope everyone else, or at least someone else, is in the same boat as me. Damaris, thank you for having me on today. I want to share with you guys a few resources as you start thinking about quality. And I think that's the key word that's happening in Philadelphia, and to make sure that you know that you have a partner, and use me as a resource as you start thinking about where you need to create your improvements and how you can improve your learning environments. So at the end of all of this, I know it's a Friday afternoon. You've been here a bit. I will be giving two $50 gift cards to whoever can answer my two not so trick questions. So I'll save that at the end. And Damaris, I will ask you for their emails after and we'll get them over to them. So one of I always forget just to introduce myself and give a little background. So I've been with Lakeshore about 2.5 years. And prior to that, I did Teach for America in DC, teaching 5th grade special ed and 2nd grade special ed, then taught a year in the district before transitioning over to Lakeshore. So my whole goal when I made that transition was to just be a resource and a partner, because I know how much high quality, especially in Philadelphia, means not only to the district, but to all of our early childcare providers where the education truly starts. So how can I do that and help support you? So one, I always just ask, call me. Whether that's we set up a virtual appointment, I will come by your center. We can walk through the different learning environments you have and really take a look at what needs to be improved and where you can make those upgrades, whether that's materials or furniture. And even if you have a simple question of what are 3 items that I can use right now that are cheap and will help me kind of hit a bucket and help improve my quality. I always say no question is, for lack of better terms, stupid when it comes to quality, because there's so much that we could do and really make the funding go as far as we can. So please.
Mariah, I'm sorry, I don't mean to interrupt you,
No,
but
not
I'm
at
gonna
all.
ask you to just slow down a little bit because we got a translator on the call, and I want
Sorry.
to make sure that she's able to catch up.
Yes, I am sorry. I am
It's
also
okay. It's
a quick
okay. It happens
talker.
to everybody.
I'm always like talking fast. So thank you, Damaris. So one key takeaway, just please call me. I will put my cell number in the chat. You're always welcome to text me. I'm local, so weekends, I know it gets crazy during the week. I have no problem stopping by on a Saturday or Sunday. I'll bring coffee with me. And I'll put my email in there too. And the second way to really leverage the Lakeshore's services would be through our white glove service, which is also called the Customer Care Program. You might have heard of it as the CCP program. So the CCP program applies on any orders that are going to be over 20,000. Lakeshore will send out a team to do the delivery and the install and set up the learning environments. And the one key thing that I always say to take advantage of with the CCP program is the design and the full proposal layout. So that's completely complimentary. You just need to call me. I will come over, take dimensions of your space that you're looking to upgrade, and send you a full proposal that includes the furniture side and it includes the manipulatives that are all aligned not only to the itters and eckers, but to the stars. And we'll specifically look at which star level you're at and what you need to get to that next level. So again, just call me and take advantage of that white glove service if you are doing any types of upgrades, because all of Lakeshore's furniture comes with a lifetime warranty. So Damaris and I have this conversation a lot about quality versus quantity. And in the industry, I think there's an old adage of cheapest isn't always least expensive. And Lakeshore stands behind that, where you may not always receive the cheapest when it comes to a table, but they will always guarantee you with the quality, and their lifetime warranty does stand behind it. And there's a no questions type of ask when it comes to needing a broken chair. Your chair is broken, call me. We will send it out, no questions asked type of policy there. Any questions on that front? Okay, cool. And anything you have, you could put in the chat, and I'll circle back with Damaris too. And I also just wanted to highlight some of the new 2024 items that came out in January. These are some of my favorites, especially the Touch and Explore Sensory Butterfly for the infants and toddlers. It's really unique. It gets mounted to the wall. It has the bars. It has different learning activities that go along with it to start that SEL development in the younger, the babies, because I think that that's important. That then translates into the elementary sector. And my second favorite one is that weighted sensory butterfly. I actually keep one always on hand. It's 3 pounds, and it just has all these different little like sensory mechanisms that are great for whether the kids are taking a nap, they need to calm down. I use it selfishly, but it's an amazing product. And please, any samples that you need to, call me and I will send them to you. Please take advantage of it. It's something I'm more than happy to do. Damaris, anything missing there?
No, but I want samples of that butterfly.
I'll send it to you. I will gladly send that out because it's truly my favorite one. And
Yes.
just I'm forewarning you now that you may not want to keep it at the center. You may want it for yourself.
Yeah, I'm already thinking.
And it's washable. Take it off, throw it in the wash, because we know how grubby these could get. My second favorite kit that has come out this year is this Play, Learn, and Grow kit. Starts at 0 and then loops with the kiddos up until 36 months. This is great when you're trying to really harp on the developmental milestones within your babies, because it comes with the activity cards in English and in Spanish. And the activities are a breakdown of all different ways you can use the materials that come within the kit to hit those developmental milestones and make sure that the kids are on track to getting to that next level. They're so easy to implement and really user-friendly, especially if you have any newer teachers who are just starting off, and this you can hand to them, pick it up, and all they have to do is just use the resources that are in there. So I cannot say enough about this. And if you ever need an example of the activity cards, let me know. I will send them over. But it's a great kit, and it was developed with Healthy Steps.
Do the activity card have the standards in them?
Great question. I will circle back to you. I believe on the physical direction sheet, the standards are on there, but I don't know if they're on the exact activity. So I'll circle back to you on that.
Thank you.
Okay. And then the last note is I want to make sure that everybody is at least aware of Lakeshore's Furniture and Educational Expo that they're hosting March 19th and 20th in Philly. It's really designed to be an immersive experience where you can physically get to see all of our furniture lines and see what high quality looks like, while also interact with our entire executive team, who at the end of the day, they are the minds behind the products and materials that enter into the classrooms and your centers. It's a free event, and there will be an on-site design studio. So if anyone's thinking of upgrades, you could sit down with the design team, create your space. Our solutions team will be there, and really it's a great community event just to actually get to see what these environments look like and see the different furniture lines in person, because on the computer it only goes so far. And I cannot say enough about it. I'll leave it at that because I went to the one in Miami. And I will share the RSVP in the chat. That's the only thing I ask of everyone, is just if you do plan on attending or considering it, just send that RSVP form so that way we can plan accordingly on our end. Because if we have more infant and toddler providers, we want to make sure we have a whole infant toddler section. Right now we have early childhood kind of clumped into one. And then last thing, sorry, Damaris, I forgot the
No,
time.
that's okay. That's okay.
You are all eligible to an 8% discount and free shipping. And if you're unsure about having an account set up with the terms, or need more information on just having a platform to be able to utilize them, or have any questions about your terms, please reach out to me. I'll make sure that everything is set up on the back end. And honestly, my whole goal is to just make sure that you guys feel supported, because I know that sometimes it could be a really lonely process, and you're like, where the heck do I turn? And I'm always happy to help.
All right. I have some really great news to share about Lakeshore. So, and Mariah, as I mentioned, she's amazing, and I'm going to share this in Spanish, so you guys could click over to the little icon. So Lakeshore es uno de los fundadores de nosotros, uno de los sponsors para el evento de LEJ Latin Lift, la conferencia. So ellos van a estar ahí. So I wanted to make sure that I mentioned that, right, that you are one of our sponsors for our Latin Lift conference. In addition to that, do you want to share what you would be raffling off at the conference? At the conference?
Would love to. So I'm super excited to partner with Damaris on this. And one of our big raffles will be a dramatic play center. So all attendees will be eligible to win the raffle. So this will entail, Damaris and I are still trying to figure out if we're going to do a couple separate pieces as to one or do the all-in-one, but there will be a dramatic play center that is raffled off at the event. And in addition to that, I will be there with a Lakeshore table with all different products and materials. And I'm specifically going to focus in on the multicultural piece. And at the end of the event, we'll raffle off all the materials at the table as well. So I'm really excited that Damaris reached out because this is an event that is so needed in the community. And we're really excited to help take part in this. And if you have suggestions of materials you would like to see at the event, please message me so that way I have the right materials there. And there's a whole list that I'll drop into the chat. I created with Damaris and Diane Getzinger that focus in on what are the essentials for ITers, ECHers, multicultural, and there was a big health and safety piece that we heard a lot of support was needed in. So this is a list, go through it. If you have any questions, again, you want samples of the items, just reach out to me and I'm happy to send them over.
Amazing, amazing. And then one final good news, as you guys know, that we've been working on our membership site on LEJ, and Lakeshore has agreed to become one of these vendors underneath our membership site. So not only if you're a member of LEJ, not only will you be able to access the 8% discount and the free shipping, but you'll also get free no tax as well. So that's a great savings for your pockets for you guys. So I really Go ahead, I'm
Oh,
sorry.
sorry, Damaris.
No, no.
Definitely that no tax piece is essential, because we know that in Philadelphia, the tax piece can be rack up some charges that we did not anticipate. So for LEJ to be able to not only extend the 8% and free shipping, but to also then offer that tax-free platform for the providers is crucial. And I'm so happy that we were able to partner with Damaris on this one.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Mariah. If anybody has any questions, wants to get in contact with Mariah, please, Mariah, if you could put your information in the chat, you can get her information in chat. Otra vez lo voy a decir en español. Yo he llamado a Mariah y a Lakeshore y ellos han venido al centro mío, los centros míos, y me han dibujado todo en un papel y me ha dicho que por cada salón, por cada centro, qué se necesita para poder subir estrella o para poder promover quality, ¿verdad? Con el Keystone Stars, o qué es la furnitura que yo debería de estar usando. Y es de gratis, ¿verdad? Ella hace su consulta de gratis, pero a mí me gusta la imagen, yo a ver las cosas en papel y ver las fotos. O si ustedes quieren también ese servicio, y no es obligado que compren nada por Lakeshore, pero sí ella te da toda la lista de lo que y las recomendaciones de lo que deberían de tener en sus centros. So, llámala, conéctase con ella, que ella es un buen recurso, una buena persona, una bella persona, y invítala para sus centros, que yo tú verás que no te vas a arrepentir.
And Damaris, I
yes.
have to make sure that 2 providers do receive a $50 gift card.
I forgot that. Yes.
So I'm going to do this based on whoever responds first in the chat.
Okay.
So my
In the chat.
first question, what is the acronym for our customer care program? Yes, Angela is our first winner. And the second question, this should be easy. What will Lakeshore be raffling off at the LEJ conference?
Come on, guys. Who's that? Winner, chicken dinner?
What kind of furniture?
What kind of furniture? Un centro dramático. Go ahead, Iluminada.
There we go. Our 2 winners. Damaris, send me their info, and I'll make sure that they get emailed over to them.
All right, I sure will. Let me just write that down. So it was Miss Angela y Iluminada. Bien bueno.
Perfect. And I'll put all this info in the chat, including the link to the new furniture site, which has great new layouts on there. So take advantage of checking those out.
All right. Well, thank you so much again, Mariah. We love you. LEJ, we love your support as well. Thank you so much. All right. Well, guys, let's go into some advocacy. Because we can't have a meeting without any advocacy talk. So let's talk about our wonderful Governor Shapiro's budget proposal. So there was a proposal noted a few weeks ago. I'm not sure if you guys know that it was $64 million, right, for the proposal, and also an increased rate from the 60th percentile to 75th percentile of the market rate, meaning CCIS, or formerly ELRC, CCW, whatever we're calling them it today, will be raised to the 75th percentile. It's not enough. I'm just going to say this, but this is a breakdown, not to go into too much, but it's like 32.47 million in additional funding for pre-K counts program, 2.7 million additional funding for Head Start. And then there is a level funding for evidence based on home visiting in the community-based family center line item, and a minor reduction in nurse family partnership line to adjust federal matching rates. And then there is a 16.7 million increase for early intervention Part C, which is infant toddler. And that program's through DHS, and $17 million increase for Part B, early intervention program age 3 to 5 through the PDE. What our elected officials need to do, our partners of Start Strong PA, recommend that the budget and foremost the sector's workforce to focus on the workforce. The many providers right now are really going through struggles and facing challenges and keeping their doors open for recruitment strategies, for families and not only families, but also staff as well. So each option total cost is about $284 million. What we're asking our elected officials to do is to keep pushing proposed amounts and ask for more stabilized, more funding, obviously, to stabilize the childcare workforce crisis. Oh, sorry, the slide is a little funky looking, but I'll definitely fix it before I share. So we have a couple of initiatives that are happening. We have a day without childcare, which is on May 13th, and you could sign the pledge, and Miss Stephanie will actually put those links in the chat for you. So if you want to get involved, you can reach out to Miss Chanel Hunter at FamilyCircleAcademy@gmail.com. I did join this last year, and where we were advocating at City Hall. A few of the providers on this call was there with me. It was really wonderful. It was a great event. It really showed unity. So if you can join, that would be great. Take action now and please share with your staff and families. You can email your Congress now to speak up for increased funding. And Ms. Stephanie is going to add that link into the chat. And last is state take action, which is for the state, and you could text Governor Shapiro. So just to let you know, I did this, guys. I do this every Tuesday. I text Governor Shapiro. I tell him we need more funding. I actually text him and said, I would love to see you in Philadelphia in our streets. Right? Walk a day in my shoes. I text him something like that. And his staffer, I don't know if it was an automatic reply, but somebody, whoever it was, replied back with his calendar and say, please do a request through calendar and we'll see if we can get him out there. So that was pretty huge. I thought the text messages weren't being monitored, but they really are. So I thought that I was a little surprised about that. And of course, yes, I did request him to come and visit. I haven't heard nothing back yet, but I'll keep you guys posted. But I feel like that was a bold move, right? Come down, come see what our children and families are struggling with. All right. Our next advocacy is on May 7th. For many of you guys have been with us for May 7th for the caravan. You could bring your families, you could bring your teachers, you could bring your students, the kiddos, bring yourselves, lift your voices. I don't care who you bring, just come. Please, this is the caravan to Harrisburg on May 7th. We are planning to meet with the Hispanic Caucus on that day. We're going to have a press conference. We're going to meet with your legislators. We're going to talk about the importance of childcare. I want families there to talk about their, struggles or how your programs really benefit them and their children. Because I feel like the more people that come, the better it is. Last year, we had 40 people attend, which was really huge. It was all Latinos. It was amazing. It was amazing to see because I think it was the first time. This year, we're shooting for at least 60. So we do have transportation, and that would be a bus going there. If not, we could do a car share. But definitely, it is an all-day thing. Some folks were on the bus and cooked and brought pastelillos and brought everything, put music on the bus. It was pretty nice. It was really nice. So if you guys can register to join us, there is a stipend. So programs will receive and teachers will receive $200 gift card. If they bring a family member, they will receive the program receives $250. And the family member receives $250 as well. So it's per family. So if the family member comes with 3 people, it's only $250 per that family. Okay, but it is something to offset the cost and and something to do for the day and still get some money in your pocket. So yeah, register, and Stephanie is going to put that link in the chat for you guys to go ahead and register. So we are asking because we want to do a visibility table at the Harrisburg. We're going to have a table there, and we would love to do a video testimony, kind of like a slideshow. It's a 30-second video. If you guys would like to join us and be added to these videos, you can ask your families to do it. You can ask your teachers to do it. You can ask your kids to do it with permission, obviously. But you can share their name, the name of your program, what benefits are of working or having a child enrolled in your high quality program is to them, right? And that's Ms. Bell, so I'll fix that. And then you can send your videos to latinoseducandojuntos.org. And if you, just for an example of what a video would look like, I was hoping, okay.
Hi, my name is Samantha Cunningham, and my son Rory is in a preschool class at Children's Playhouse. And I cannot even put into words how thankful I am for all of the teachers and staff who work with my son. He was born right before the pandemic, so he did not have a lot of social interaction. Due to, you know, all that comes with that. And this is his first year in like a formal early childhood setting, and I cannot describe the amount of growth. He is so confident now. He's learning how to use his voice and advocate for himself. And his two teachers have done so much work with him, and we are so, so grateful.
So it's amazing to hear family stories, right? Families impact. That's the biggest voice in advocacy. So it's really important. If you guys can, please try to do a video. If you cannot do a video because you know your families don't feel uncomfortable with a video, then just provide a written testimony. Stephanie, our assistant, is actually working on these videos and putting together this beautiful slideshow so that way we could empower and lift our voices and really, really share with the legislators, you know, how important that is, so that way we can get our millions and billions. Want to share an advocacy component. This is the Child Independent Care Tax Credit. I was invited to the House of Delegation to talk about the importance of this tax credit to our families. So you can read more about it. I would definitely send you some more information. But what's really, really important is to remind your families that they can get a child care tax credit. And again, I will share some more information on this. But if you can scroll in, well, when you scroll in with these slides, you'll be able to see, right? There's going to be 27,545 working fat parents that or families that this would actually benefit. So that's a huge, huge thing. I was with 3 of my state reps because I have 3 different location centers. It is really great to be able to connect with them. They were all fighting for me. Another rep, which was Jordan Harris, asked me to move into his district. He was willing to find me a building. You know, it's really great to be invited there because I was invited to talk about the child care tax credit. And I took advantage to say how important it is to not forget to continue to work for childcare because we're not paid adequately. So, you know, I guess that's why they love inviting me to these things because I'm fresh. But I take the advantage. So I invite you guys to reach out and create these relationships with your legislators. All right, Latin Lift Conference, La Conferencia. So just as a reminder, it is on June 15th, Saturday. Clock is ticking. We have some really great sponsors. Again, one of them are here, Lakeshore. We have Homegrown, IECS, OMAX Institute, and just yesterday we picked up TD Bank. So they are, you know, really looking forward to coming. We have JC Trombayes. She is our keynote speaker. We have someone actually coming in with congas and doing all this great stuff. We have some children that are going to be performing a salsa for you guys. So we have, and some really great PD sessions, right? Apart from the party, because we can't have a conference without a party. But definitely have some great food, obviously. So we have these great things happening. Please come and join us. If you're coming down from Allentown or Puerto Rico, wherever you're coming from, we also have hotel accommodations. So I'll be at the hotel because I live pretty far, so I want to stay close. But we booked, you can book at a discounted rate, there. So if you want to share and come with a group and share some hotel rooms there, there's the link there for that. And again, for you to register for the conference, the link is there as well. And I believe Stephanie will be putting that in the chat. All right. So of course we can't do a conference by ourselves because it's a lot to work on. So please, if you have a moment, a couple moments to volunteer to let us know, you will get 2 free tickets to the conference as well. So it's complimentary for you guys to come and invite whoever you want. So we would love for you to join us. There's a Google form for you to join us. And Stephanie's going to put that in the chat. We welcome you. We welcome you. We welcome you. All right. Thanks again to our provider planning committee that brought this presentation today, right? Because without them lifting their voices, we wouldn't have these wonderful speakers today. So these are the folks that have been creating magic behind this closed doors. And I thank you. I love you guys for all the help. If you guys would like to come and join us. Oh, I'm sorry, I didn't update this with March's meeting, but I'll definitely be updating and sending you guys out. If you're interested in joining our provider planning committee meetings, or you feel like there's a topic that you would like to discuss, send us an email. So we got the Latin Lift Teacher Award, el Premio de Profesores. So this is our first, it's due February. It started February 1st. We're closing this out. I believe it was in May. So share nominated teacher already. We're already looking at some nominations that are coming through, but we can't, decide anything until we close it out. But we would love to celebrate the teacher. It will be the first Latin Lift teacher. So the teacher award in excellence. I'm sorry. So yes, please come. There is a monetary cash prize. There's also membership, and there's also some other stuff. Lakeshore is actually going to provide a gift as well for them. So we're creating this big package for the Latin Lift teacher. So please nominate. That link is going to be put in the chat as well. Oh, guys, 3 years it took me. I've been working on this project for 3 years, and I am so excited to say that we have actually gotten funded for the very first time through the William Penn Foundation, and we secured a grant for $110,000 to do the Latin Lift. So the Latin Lift is to help, I want to cry, is to help our Hispanic community teachers to increase the teaching, the Hispanic teacher, Latinx teacher pipeline for representation in our classrooms, whether if it's in kindergarten, infant room, or even K-12. And we are hoping to create this pilot with 20 individuals new to the field. They can be a senior in high school if they want to come into the program pilot and are interested in becoming teachers. And also people that are existing in programs that want to advance in their education. Probably perhaps they have a transcript or a degree in another country, and they need support, and they feel whatever the barriers is, Latin Lift is here for it. So we welcome you with our great partners. We partnered with Hope Partnership for Education, our amazing organization, Learn, Power, and Grow as well, which, they are rock stars, and Esperanza College. I love you, Esperanza. So we are actually partnering, we're working through right now, and how this is all gonna look through and how we're going to support the community creating these rubrics and the invitation, but we do have a pre-registration, like an interested list. So link, if you would like and you're interested in us giving you a call to see if you're eligible for this pilot program, please give us a call. You will be put with a mentee and a mentor, I'm sorry, and then also you'll be the mentee, and it's a full wraparound support to make sure that you are successful. Woohoo! All right. I want to remind everybody that it is going to be the week of the young child. That's April 6th through the 12th. So again, it's Music Making Monday, Tasty Tuesday, Work Together Wednesday, Art Thursday, Family Friday. One thing, whatever it is that you do it culture, because you know we do it right. And make sure there's music is celebrating who you have in your centers. The food is celebrating who you have in your centers. Just be careful, no allergies. Work Together Tuesday, you know, we always working together, unity, love, unity. Artsy Thursday, bring the art in, right? And Family Friday, you know, family partnerships, those family engagement activities are really, really important. So think about what's happening because April is just around the corner, right? Invite your legislators to your program, have them come in, invite Arlene to your program, you know, to come and read maybe on one of these days. Arlene's going to be really busy this week. Invite your legislators again, you know, if it's your council person or your state rep or whoever it is, just invite them to your programs. Try to get on their calendar now because their calendars are actually filling up. So I want to make sure that you guys get somebody in your calendar now, okay? Share photos or videos showcasing your programs and activities. Hashtag Week of the Young Child 2024 on social media, or you can share your photos and videos with us, with LEJ. We would love to highlight your programs. We would love to highlight your activities, and we could put it on our website. We will put it on the May Provider. We'll showcase it in the May Providers meeting as well, because we want to celebrate you. That's who we are. We need to celebrate each other. Porque si no lo hacemos nosotros, who else is going to do it? Ok, vamos a hablar. Rosana está here, está de vacaciones somewhere in the beach somewhere, hopefully. Pero aquí está la rotonda, los round tables, la rotonda, la mesa de colaboración. Oh my God. Abierta. Esto va a ser 2 días. Marzo 21 es próximo día y es a la 1 de la tarde hasta las 2. Las conversaciones son fuertes, so come because they're really, really good. And it's more personal, right? It's not like here, I mean, you could talk here, but nobody does. But there is like more one-on-one. So come and join us there. The link is going to be put in the chat. It's a beautiful support group, by the way, really nice. Okay, here comes some upcoming trainings, active supervision in your programs en español este gratis. El lunes, marzo 4, de 6 a 8. Y reciben dos créditos de PICUAS y se puede registrar ahí. CPR First Aid en español va a ser en sábado, marzo 9, de 9:30 hasta las 11:30. Este va a ser en South Philadelphia. Si ustedes tienen más de 5 gente o pueden reunir más de 5 gente, nosotros podemos ir a donde ustedes. So, si tú me dejas dicho qué día y poder buscar 5 gente para que ustedes no tengan que venir al sur, yo voy a donde ustedes. Está bien, no yo, but we'll come to you. Health and safety practices in español, free in Spanish as well. Okay, so I just want to make sure that everybody knows that that's on March 18th from 6 to 8. Stay connected. I know you guys, this is Stephanie. Thank you, Stephanie. You've been raising our group, our Latinos Educando Juntos social media Facebook group. It's been amazing. I've been seeing a lot of people. I need you guys to get connected, talk to each other, but stay connected with us if you want to join our group. Here goes the QR code, and follow us on Facebook so that way you're not missing most of the stuff. We do put tools there. We have put some other stuff in there as well. All right, so we have like about a few minutes. I do want to ask you guys to respectfully complete our complete the exit survey. So, si pueden tomarse un momento para completar la encuesta de salida, se lo agradezco 1,000,000. Y Stephanie va a poner en el chat el link, el enlace para poder completar el survey. Y en lo que estamos aquí, si tienen alguna pregunta, me lo deja dicho.
It's not a question, Damaris. I don't, oh, were you finished? I'm
Yes,
sorry.
I am. I'm sorry, I was waiting. I'm sorry. Yes.
No, so I would like to donate 2 books, one to the Latin Lift Conference and the other to the Teachers Award. So if
Thank
you
you.
can give me information who I can send those books over to, I'll be happy to do that.
Sure.
I guess the last question I want to ask is, when will you guys do the finalization, like, for the vendor event and asking for like logos and information from, the, vendors and such?
So that would be Elizabeth. Elizabeth, can you put your Quesada, I'm sorry, Elizabeth Quesada, can you put your information on in the chat so that Arlene can get in contact with you? So for both things, and I appreciate the bucks, for both things, you can contact Elizabeth.
Oh, great, not a problem. Thank you.
You're welcome. There she goes. Okay, so she just put her email in the chat, Arlene, so you could definitely, and I believe you spoke to Elizabeth for the Literacy Festival as well. Yeah, you guys have had
Yeah,
contact.
I know her. Yeah, okay, great. Thank you.
You're welcome. Thank you. Okay. So if you guys just let me know when you complete that survey and just press done in the chat, I would really appreciate that.
Tengo una pregunta.
Hola María. Dime.
Ok, gracias. Pensé que tenía que hablar en inglés.
Mm-mm.
Realmente he conseguido mucha buena información, pero para algunas cosas he visto en el chat. So, básicamente, ¿cómo me puedo conectar con la muchacha anterior que hablaba de los furniture y eso?
Mariah,
Ajá,
sure, yo te mando la información. So, después de la reunión, yo mando toda la información en un correo electrónico, ¿verdad?
ok,
Y también con los slides y todo para que ustedes lo vean.
perfecto. Y mi última pregunta sería, pues, acerca de los créditos. Estos son créditos, ¿cómo se dice?
PQAS,
Eh, Perdón.
PQAS, por PX.
Ajá, sí,
Sí, sí. Todos ustedes, qué buena pregunta. Todos ustedes que se entran a estas reuniones reciben 2 horas de PQAS. Una cosa que yo me estoy dando cuenta, que cuando ustedes se registran aquí en esta reunión, algunos de ustedes están usando otro correo electrónico que no está en tu PQAS. So vamos a suponer, si son nombres común, como, I don't know, vamos a suponer María González, hay como 20,000 gente que se llama María González en el PX. So,
sí,
yo voy y sigo, yo busco por correo electrónico, ¿verdad? Para poder ver cuál es la María de González. So, si ustedes le hacen, yo sé que si le hacen más fácil para poder recibir su crédito, si me pueden poner en el chat su PX number, yo estoy segura ya. Si tú tienes un nombre común, ¿verdad? Como me llamo Damaria Alvarado Rodríguez, en el PX no hay mucha gente así. Right? So, ya yo sé que
ok,
cuando me buscan, ya yo me encuentro. Pero si ustedes tienen un nombre común, que hay como 20,000 gente, personas con su mismo nombre, o trata de darme para yo estar segura para poder darle los créditos. Porque estos créditos también son de leadership. eh,
leadership, sí.
Hay otros, no, son 4, son tres tópicos en un solo de esos. Te dan crédito para leadership, te dan crédito para family, yo creo que era, y otro más, no me recuerdo, pero te dan 3 diferentes topics por cada de esos de 2 horas.
Ok, perfecto. Entonces yo voy a mandar por si acaso el PHE
Sí.
number.
Sí.
Ujú,
Y si ustedes
gracias.
no recibieron su crédito, mándame un correo electrónico, un mensaje por correo electrónico y yo de una vez le mando su crédito.
Perfecto.
Ok.
Muchas gracias.
A tus órdenes. Y voy a poner mi correo electrónico, espérate, en el chat para que lo tengan todito. Info Latinos, Educando Juntos, que estoy ciega. Ok. All right. So, si terminaron el Exit Survey, le doy las gracias a ustedes. Lo vemos el mes que viene, si Dios permite, en marzo 22, de 1 a las 3 de la tarde. Y Miss Stephanie puso el enlace dentro del chat si se quieren registrar ahora, o si no, pueden ir también al website de nosotros para poder ver lo que nosotros estamos haciendo. Y ojalá verlo ustedes, que tengan bonito fin de semana. Le agradezco todito a pasar su viernes con nosotros. Mucho amor y cuídense. Bye.
Have a good weekend, everyone.
Thank you so much, Miss Arlene. Thank you so much for being here, for being such a
Always.
great supporter.
I
I
love
really
it. I
enjoyed
love it
seeing
all.
you.
I love it all. I wouldn't miss it. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Miss Stephanie, so much for helping us out today. And
No
Miss
worries.
as well. Thank you. Have a great evening. Have a great weekend. Bye-bye.